It's been a long time coming for us to finally make our way to the day Tomodachi Life Living the Dream was finally announced. My very first video on a Tomodachi Life sequel was 6 years ago, but I really started to join the Tomodachi Life sequel hype train in 2023 and spent the last 2 years leading up to its final reveal, following the rumors and hints to its development incredibly closely. So let's look back and see how many of the rumors and hints at Tomodachi Life Living the Dream actually did in fact point to the game's release, and watch the journey of how we got here to where the game is finally confirmed. First things first, I have always pointed out that our community's strong and consistent outreach to Nintendo of discussing Tomodachi Life and forcing it back into the mainstream attention will one day result in Nintendo having to give us what we want. A fan-made petition for Tomodachi Life on the Switch getting over 20,000 and still counting signatures, as well as many fans refusing to stop talking about this silly little game that we love. I hope Nintendo will finally notice us, and I really believe they will. Nintendo chooses to allow chat during their live streams, and I can't help but assume they do so to gauge what their audience and their fans really want from them. I cannot begin to tell you the amount of chats from people begging Nintendo for Tomodachi Life and how happy that made me. And the Nintendo lover inside of me says Nintendo will take notice of our passion for Tomodachi Life and reward us for it. Did you know Tomodachi Life was trending on Twitter? The fan base is very much alive. Tomodachi Life fans are the most passionate and kind community I have ever seen. Whether it's by signing the petition, making YouTube videos, posting on Twitter, or spamming Tomodachi Life in the comments of Nintendo's videos, we are all contributing to keeping Tomodachi Life alive and in the spotlight. That's something Nintendo can't ignore forever. Fans of the Tomodachi Life games have been eagerly awaiting the next iteration to this game series ever since the arrival of the Nintendo Switch. But since the beginning of 2023, it appears this community has lost patience. And I'm a part of that. We have begun to demand for Nintendo to give us our Tomodachi. Currently, the petition for a Tomodachi Life on the Switch has over 30,000 signatures and continues to grow. Not only that, but Tomodachi Life keeps trending on Twitter, or X or whatever it's called now, around direct times, and videos talking about Tomodachi Life on platforms like YouTube have skyrocketed. I am partly to blame. In fact, Tomodachi Life, despite just hitting its 10-year anniversary this year from its original release, has suddenly become a huge talking point in the greater Nintendo community. Even more direct is, well, Nintendo Directs. Every live stream, they are bombarded with the chat crying out for Tomodachi Life 2 and Tomodachi Life sequel and Tomodachi. We want a new Tomodachi, and Nintendo has to have taken notice to this. And that's a huge factor as to why, if Nintendo wasn't already developing Tomodachi Life sequel, they would be now. It's hard to ignore their fans, but we will not stop making our voices heard. We have a petition with over 32,000 signatures. Every direct, Nintendo's live stream chat is filled with fans begging for Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi Life keeps finding itself trending on Twitter, and videos on YouTube, and posts online all over are increasing. Nintendo would find it hard to ignore their fans' outcry for forever, and the more we chip away at them, telling them that we need to do the game, the faster they will take action and give us what we want, and that's Tomodachi Life. And now, here we are with exactly what we wanted. Another point I had was that so many other top games have gotten remakes and sequels. Remakes have been relatively common for the Nintendo Switch thus far, especially in recent times. But we're seeing more and more 3DS games getting ported and remaked and getting sequels, which, as you know, is a huge undertaking, as the layout of 2 screens to 1 screen means a lot of changes to how games run. The more 3DS games that get remakes, such as Miitopia, the more likely the chances are for other 3DS games, such as Tomodachi Life, will follow suit. as already stated, Tomodachi Life was the 11th best-selling game on the Nintendo 3DS. So let's look at that full roster. Number 1 was Mario Kart 7, which got a sequel, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 2 was Pokemon X and Y, which got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Number 3 was Pokemon Sun and Moon, which got Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 4 was Pokemon Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Number 5 was New Super Mario Bros. 2, which got Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Number 6 was Animal Crossing New Leaf, which got Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 7 was Super Mario 3D Land, which got Super Mario Odyssey. Number 8 was Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, which got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 9 was Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, which got Pokemon Sword and Shield. Number 10 was Yokai Watch 2, which got Yokai Watch 4. Then, thus far, Nintendo has skipped over our beloved number 11, Tomodachi Life. And number 12, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, is getting a remaster for Nintendo Switch coming 2024. Number 13, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, has The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So here we are, sitting pretty in top 11. All the other top 13 games have sequels or remasters, but Tomodachi Life. I think that means it's time. It's our turn.
Not only that, but Nintendo has such a strong love for remasters and sequels that we are nearly assured that Nintendo will follow this trend and give Tomodachi Life a remaster or sequel at some point. And we ended up with a sequel!
Nintendo loves their franchises. We all know that. They love to keep their favorite franchises going, usually making at least one for each console. So, did you know Tomodachi Life isn't the first Tomodachi game? This is why I call the next game for Tomodachi Life a sequel, or Tomodachi Life for the Switch instead of Tomodachi Life 2. Tomodachi Life was already the second game in the series. The first Tomodachi game was Tomodachi Collection for the Nintendo DS back in 2009, and it was a Japan exclusive. And fun fact, in Japan, Tomodachi Life is actually called Tomodachi Collection New Life, proving to Nintendo that this is a worthwhile game to make another iteration to. To make Tomodachi Life getting a sequel or remaster even more likely is Nintendo's love for sequels and remasters in general. Recently announcing Super Mario RPG coming to the Switch when its original game released in 1996. The first Animal Crossing game came out in 2001, and the game series has had a home on just about every console since. Tomodachi Life isn't the first in its game series. No, the first Tomodachi game was Tomodachi Collection for the Nintendo DS, but it was a Japan exclusive. It did so incredibly in Japan, thus Tomodachi Life was born. So where's the third game, Nintendo?
Which also matches to my point of how Nintendo has such a love for their franchises and continuing those franchises. Tomodachi Life being one of them, as Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is the third game in its series. It's also part of a big Me Love comeback I've made mention to.
In the beginning days of the Nintendo Switch, many longtime fans were worried about the future of Miis. The Mii makers seemed hidden in the Switch's settings, and with the failure of the Wii U, fans were worried Nintendo was abandoning Miis altogether just to keep their distance from anything Wii U reminiscent, even though Miis came around with the original Wii. However, now we've seen the release of Miitopia and Nintendo Switch Sports. I predicted, by the way. As well as Mii's in Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and the Mario Golf game. So now we know Nintendo still loves their Miis. Therefore, there's no reason Nintendo wouldn't want Tomodachi Life on the Switch.
Speaking of Mii's, one can't forget the Miitopia remake and how it marked good chances of Tomodachi Life also getting its return.
Miitopia released in May of 2021 and has sold over 1.6 million units as of March 2022. Nintendo fans clearly love the game, and its success as a game so closely related and similar to Tomodachi Life gives us more hope for a new Tomodachi game. Miitopia also proved that Nintendo can easily find a way to make a dual-screened game into a single-screened game.
Speaking of Miitopia sales, Tomodachi Life was also very likely to get a sequel at some point due to its success and sales, which just have so much potential to be even more on the Nintendo Switch.
Tomodachi Life was the Nintendo 3DS's number 11 best-selling game, selling 6.71 million units. It sold better than Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, Nintendogs Plus Cats, The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds, and Super Mario Maker for the Nintendo 3DS. Wow, this is a huge motivator for Nintendo to remake or create a sequel to Tomodachi Life for the Switch, and just rake in the money. Miitopia on the 3DS sold 1.22 million units on the 3DS, while Miitopia on the Nintendo Switch sold 1.63. That's over a 33% increase in sales between games for a remaster that will most likely continue to sell for a few more years. In fact, I just bought it! Tomodachi Life for the 3DS, in contrast, sold a whopping 6.71 million units. That's 450% more sales than Miitopia for the 3DS. And if it had a 33% increase in sales from the 3DS versions to the Nintendo Switch version, it would sell 8.93 million units. At that many sales, it would be in 20th place on best-selling Nintendo Switch games, putting it above Super Mario Maker 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Mario Tennis Aces, and many, many more. Mind you, this is just a theory, but due to Tomodachi Life's popularity on the 3DS and the current climate of shareability on the internet, it's more likely Tomodachi Life could do even more impressive sales figures. So why not make fans happy and make loads of money, Nintendo?
Now to discuss more solid rumors, I had done...
I love you. Oh, I love you.
I had dug up that Nintendo's EPD Production Group No. 7 was very likely the team that would make Tomodachi Life sequel, and that they were already in the works of making it.
Now we get to talk about the reason behind my very strong belief Tomodachi Life has been in the works since 2021. The team I believe were given the Tomodachi Life remaster or sequel being Nintendo EPD Production Group No. 7. EPD stands for Entertainment Planning and Development Division. Why do I think that, you may ask? They have made many games in their time, but a few key ones that stand out in today's discussion. In 2009, they were the team who worked on Tomodachi Collection. Then in 2013, wouldn't you believe it? They also were the ones behind Tomodachi Life. This team is the ones responsible for developing both Tomodachi games. So what have they been up to recently? Well, in recent years, since the launch of the Nintendo Switch in 2017, one game of theirs emerged in 2017 for the 3DS, then Nintendo most likely moved all of their efforts from then on to the Nintendo Switch. Hard at work, nothing more came out until they published 3 games in 2021. So what have they been up to since 2021? We can't say for sure, but clearly, they have spent the last 2 years hard at work on something. And as the developers of both the Tomodachi games in the series thus far, Tomodachi Life for the Nintendo Switch is a very strong possibility. I have a strong reason to believe that a Tomodachi game has been in the making since at least 2021, and I'll share with you why. There are 2 developers that hold strong potential for working on the next Tomodachi game, and they might even collaborate. Nintendo's EPD Production Group No. 7, responsible for developing both Tomodachi Collection and Tomodachi Life, has had no public projects since 2021. We can't discuss the future of Tomodachi Life without discussing who could be making such a game. That's where Nintendo's EPD Production Group No. 7 comes in. You see, they are the developers responsible for both Tomodachi Collection and Tomodachi Life. Not only that, but they haven't had a public game release or a reveal of what they could have been working on since 2021, leaving an empty slot that a new Tomodachi Life game could easily fill up. With the talent that created the previous 2 games in the series, and the last 2 years of time dedicated to developing the newest game, this could lead to the best Tomodachi Life experience we could ever hope for. Of course, we can't go a full Tomodachi Life video without mentioning Nintendo's EPD Production Group No. 7. Longtime fans of the channel could probably recite what I'm about to say by heart, but this to me is such strong evidence of Tomodachi Life's sequel being currently in the works that I must state it again for any new viewers and for us in the know to be reminded once again.
You can imagine my joy after the reveal when I saw this confirmed on Nintendo EPD's Production Group No. 7's list of projects. They were the ones responsible for Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, just as I thought. And probably the biggest, most solid evidence of Tomodachi Life getting its new game was the trademark renewal.
We have amazing news for the future of Tomodachi Life. Nintendo very recently renewed its copyright for Tomodachi Life, giving us more hope that Nintendo is either interested in or in the works of creating Tomodachi Life's remaster or sequel. Nintendo often trademarks and renews trademarks for games shortly before we hear news of development or before games come out. This ensures the property is protected as 100% theirs, and so people can't steal their intellectual properties. And Tomodachi Life getting a trademark renewal after all this time and with the recent uptick in interest for the game is a telling sign that we are onto something here. Not only that, but this was renewed by Nintendo of Japan, of course, and renewing Tomodachi Life in Japan while the original game in Japan was in Japanese and translates to Tomodachi Collection New Life is telling in and of itself. See, this could hint to an interest in making a game that's not region locked, like the previous titles in the series. And we all know that the Nintendo Switch and likely the next system that Nintendo creates aren't and won't be region locked. Now, while we can't say with 100% certainty exactly what this means, many of the articles on this matter clarified that while it could be a run-of-the-mill renewal, that's likely not the case. As Nintendo often has reasons for renewing in the matter that they did Tomodachi Life, and in the wording of the trademark renewal hints to this as well. And that increases the likelihood that they have upcoming plans for the franchise. This October, Japanese news sites had discovered and revealed to the world that Nintendo of Japan just renewed their Tomodachi Life trademark. Specifically, Nintendo of Japan did this, which many have pointed out could be very significant, as we would assume they would renew the Japanese name, which translates to Tomodachi Collection New Life. However, they specifically trademarked Tomodachi Life, hinting at a release in our future that is not region locked, of either a remaster of Tomodachi Life or a Tomodachi Life 2 in the works. Nintendo often trademarks and renews trademarks when they have plans with the game series involved. Oftentimes, we discover these trademarks shortly before leakers cause rumors of the game in development, or even shortly before a new game is revealed. This breathes new hope into the fanbase that we could hear more about Tomodachi Life soon. When a game gets their trademark renewed, it's always big news. Sometimes these are just done for legal reasons, but many times it's because of big changes with the franchise, new installments, or new merge or subtle changes to names associated with it. So, of course, the entire Tomodachi community collectively freaked out when we heard the fantastic news that the Tomodachi Life trademark has been renewed. Many in the gaming community look deep into the Nintendo of Japan trademark and believe it is likely much more than just a simple renewal, and it is indeed the proof that we needed that a Tomodachi Life sequel is in the works.
Then, before you knew it, Tomodachi Life Living the Dream was officially revealed in the last Nintendo Switch dedicated direct, to the joy of the whole community. We finally made it to the post-sequel reveal world. Yes, we still have some time to wait, as Tomodachi Life Living the Dream won't be gracing our Nintendo Switches until 2026. But now the wait is so much easier because we have confirmation and gameplay footage. It has been such a long journey, but a fun one nonetheless. And I am so grateful to have found so many people in the Tomodachi community just as excited for me for the upcoming game. 2026 is going to be a great year for us all. Hey, I just wanted to stop real quick and tell you guys thank you so much for supporting the channel. I know I haven't been very consistent lately, and there's actually a really good reason for that, unlike usually. I actually just had my baby back in late May. Yeah, he is now 2 months old. I had my son via C-section and have been focusing a lot on recovery and of course taking care of my sweet little bundle of joy. He is doing really well and so am I, and I just want to thank you all for supporting me, both when I'm able to stick to a consistent schedule and when I'm not so consistent. I love you all so much, and I hope you stick around for more. See you in the next one. Bye.